Welcome to High Heels and Hay Bales, where polished meets practical, legal meets lifestyle, and debt meets dirt.
I am Kristen, your resident farm mama, keeping it real about motherhood, homesteading, and laughing our way through the chaos.
And I'm Adrienne, aka the Ladylike Lawyer. I'm here to help you make sense of money, debt, legal life, without the boring fight print.
So kick off your shoes or boots or heels and let's get into it.
Welcome back to High Heels and Hay Bales. So, Kristen, picture this. I'm standing in Kroger at 8:30 at night. I'm holding $600 worth of ingredients to recreate my family's favorite Thanksgiving dinner. And suddenly I realize I'm exhausted and all I really want to do is go to a Chinese restaurant. So, of course, when I get to the parking lot, I start crying. And that's how I expect my Thanksgiving is going to go.
Meanwhile, I made everyone matching pajamas this year and absolutely forgot to pay the water bill. So we're going to look adorable and smell like we have been living without basic necessities for a month. That's holiday balance, baby.
That's holiday balance. Well, that's how we landed on today's topic. Our topic today is legacy, family, and finances during the holidays.
Also known as tinsel and tension, sponsored by adult stress and whatever's left in my checking account.
Which is probably not very much for most of us at this point. Yeah, there are a lot of emotional landmines we're going to tiptoe around all this holiday season.
And we are going to wake up January 1st with cold noses, empty wallets, and at least one regret that is shaped like a giant credit card bill.
Oh, so many regrets. So many regrets. It's funny because, you know, when people say the word legacy, I think they immediately think that, you know, we're talking about wills or inheritances or money or, you know, that type of thing, right?
For sure. Oh, for sure. Like my family's legacy is leftovers in the Cool Whip container. If you know, you know. Uh, Containers full of ham, gravy, and sometimes shame. It's what we do every year.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that is an example of a legacy. It's a routine. It's something that's expected, whether it's Cool Whip containers, shortbread cookie tins. I know we've all got a few of those, right?
Mine are
Um,
filled with sewing things, so I
okay.
like to trick my kids.
I like that. I like that for you. Well, for some families, legacy is love, but for many of us, it feels like expectation. It really
Right.
does, and
It
that's
does.
that's oh god, that's what we're dealing with the holidays is expectations.
Or that super proud tradition of spending money we do not have to convince people we are doing just fine, or hey, look what I can do. Merry Christmas. Here's your generational debt.
That's really what we've been doing. We've just been handing down generational debt over and over and over, basically since the post World War II era, as we've gone into this consumerism and we've really packed up the holidays to mean a lot more things than it really, really doesn't, right?
Mhm.
But it's not just legacy, isn't what's been left necessarily behind, it's what's being passed along, right?
Right. And those beliefs stick harder than anything. It's there's so the beliefs really stick hard. I don't need your porcelain angels, Grandma. I don't need the china. I need therapy.
It's funny because I was in Goodwill yesterday because every once in a while when I get anxious, I like to walk around and look at things, and it's unsafe to do that in an expensive store. So I go to Goodwill, and I was walking up and down the aisles, just letting my dopamine hit, and I saw a lot of porcelain angels there,
Hmm.
and I remember thinking there's a lot of people had to it was hard for a lot of people to give these things up,
Hmm.
right? And I was proud of the people who had given stuff up to Goodwill, because you know that they had to go through a big emotional pile to do that. And the question is why does it have to be so hard, right? Why are the stories that we tell ourselves about worth and money, that type of legacy, why is that what we're getting from our families, and why is that encumbering our holidays?
Holidays really just amplify all of it. It's like everybody pours all of their emotional baggage and ties them up with red bows, and we all just sit in it, knowing, I mean, we all know when we go to my family's for the holidays, we are all not really financially capable of doing this,
Yeah.
but we do it anyway because it's what we've done for 40 years.
You know, it's really interesting because this is a unique time of the year. And, you know, something I see every single year around this time of year is the intense pressure, especially with moms. I spend a lot of times talking to single moms at this time, and I'm trying to help them uh, pull themselves out from under the pressure that they're feeling. But we know it's coming from family, right?
It absolutely is. I mean, there's an expectation to keep this grand thing, and reality is wrapping Christmas gifts in the grocery bag that they came in and hiding their seats so that you aren't facing what you're going to have to face later, and trying not to sob the entire time.
That's really true. Well, and here's a truthful statement. Um, people will people know they're in debt. They've reached out to somebody like me, a bankruptcy lawyer, but then they say, "No, I want to put all of this on pause because I'm going into the holidays."
Hmm.
And then they just turn around and have these incredible expectations for themselves and for their families. And I can see them. I see them coming into November in trouble, but then ignoring everything and facing only forward and just going through the routine as if that is what a holiday is. And
Right.
I know we talk, I mean, everybody's talking about this. Everybody says it doesn't have to be the spending, but we need to talk about it. We need to
Yeah,
talk about it. We really do.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Like, January is going to come in, new year, who dis, but it's just the same debt, even more amplified because of what we spent at the holidays, and it's going to have a party hat on this time.
You know, very interestingly, the pressure is not really coming from our kids. And I think we oftentimes lead ourselves to believe that the pressure is coming from our kids and the pressure is coming from our families and the pressure is coming from here. And as somebody who has been through a lot of Christmases with my kids, more than you have, you know, I look back and that's absolutely true. I remember my husband saying, we're doing too much. We're setting up standards we can't keep. You know, I remember him trying to be the voice of reason. And I plowed forward because there were things inside of me that
Hmm.
were empty and there were expectations I
Hmm.
had of what that day should look like. Over the years, it's caused for a lot of difficult holidays, I have to say. I can't be the only one.
Oh no, you're not, because I mean, my inner child is a feral 5 year old with a candy cane,
Yeah, it is.
screaming, "Make it magical or else!" And I am the poster child for this inner child situation, because
Yeah,
I think about, oh man, all the magic that I had when I was a kid. And as an adult, as a mom, realizing that mom was the one that made all the freaking magic,
yeah,
that makes it even harder because I'm exhausted. And my ex husband and I would fight every holiday because I would go crazier and crazier and crazier. And now this is going to be our first Christmas, not a family together.
yeah.
And I know I have to make some
Changes.
changes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you gotta make
exactly.
some changes. I mean, there's a tremendous fear we have of judgment from our extended family, from our neighbors. And you know, what are the expectations at the holidays? There's things that we've just always done, and so we
Hmm.
keep doing them, feeling like we have to keep doing them that way, that are costing us money and time. We give gifts to people that don't give gifts back to us, and then we feel
Hmm.
guilty if we don't do them, right? I mean, there's just
Right.
a lot of judgment, at least perception of judgment.
Yeah.
There's a perception of judgment. I'm not
Right.
sure if the judgment was really there, but there's certainly a perception that our family is judging us. And if our holidays aren't perfect, then it means that we are somehow not great moms, or that we're not
Hmm.
providing well for our kids, or that we're not doing enough, we're not putting them front and center. And I think
Hmm.
it's gotten pretty skewed. Many of us can agree with that, right?
Oh, agreed 100%. I mean, I know that as far as the judgment goes,
Yeah.
I always feel like somebody's judging me, and I know for a fact my brother and sister-in-law will say, "We didn't do a whole lot for the kids," and I, it's that back and forth, "Oh, don't worry about it." I always go over above and beyond
Yeah.
just because that's who I am, but there's this back and forth that I know is there in my family. Like, "Hey, did you get little Jimmy the video game?
Yeah.
Did you spend that money, that extra money to make sure he knows how much he's worth to you?" Like,
Yeah.
that's the crap that leads to the judgment and debt.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, we know people are going to go into debt. And
Mhm.
this is the biggest time of the year that people go into debt. And they're already coming into this season. It's an exceptionally difficult financial time already. So we have record debt ceilings right now. So it is I have to imagine that it's just gonna feel even harder for people, and I think that the point of this episode is to show people how, so much of what we do is inherited and
Yep.
it is passed down, and it is our job to start changing some of these things, right? You and I have very unique situations. This is your first holiday. You and your ex-husband are split up. There's, a whole new dynamic now moving forward. This is my second holiday without our daughter. And I will say that last year was permission for us to step away from everything. It was
Yeah.
just permission for us to step away from everything.
Right.
And I was actually able, when the holidays were over, to look back and see what really kind of mattered, right?
Mhm.
And so I feel like everything is going to be less. The holidays are going to be
Mhm.
less. Everything's going to be less for me because I've already had 1 year to kind of do it. But
Yeah.
tell me, I know that the holidays are chaotic. So what are you thinking they're going to look like for you?
Well, I mean, as far as my ex-husband is moving out this week, and I don't know what they're gonna look like with my kids with him, and my new partner and I are gonna the I don't want to say changing traditions, but creating new traditions, making sure that it's not just about the things, it's the experiences, because we know the kids are all about doing things, and that's something we haven't done. My ex-husband and I haven't done for a really long time. It was always me and the kids.
Yeah,
And now I have this wonderful man who is all about making sure my kids are top priority and kind of just changing the way I'm viewing it. I mean, I don't have a whole lot of money. It's
yeah.
just, I'm paying the bills and making sure they have what they need. And we're just kind of winging it this year. We're going to see what happens.
Well, look at my podcast partner, Kristen, opening the door to her life just a teeny bit. Did everybody hear that there's a new somebody in her life? We're going to get to that more after this. We are going to check in with your marriage because I think people want to know a little bit more about what you're talking about.
You
But
know what's funny is apparently a lot more people that know my husband listen to us than I realize. And yeah, that's been fun to find out. But hi, the oh, as far we have generally generational curses and generational things that we as parents want to break from our kids. And something that I think a lot of people, including myself, don't consider is breaking those generational holiday curses, breaking yourself financially.
yeah,
We just
yeah,
seem to just keep getting worse. Now, yeah, everything keeps getting more expensive, but I know for a fact, as a woman who has done this before, that I can push off my electric bill until January to make sure I have that extra $250 to spend on Christmas for my kids. And then late fees and all that stuff, it happens. But that's what people do and get
yeah.
themselves trapped. Sorry, I went
Well,
off on a little.
I totally agree. I mean, the holidays become an emotional fun house, and I think that we're shopping and we're shopping for feelings, and we're shopping to try to show our children how valuable they are to us. And I
Hmm.
really don't think that I think everybody needs permission to recognize that presence, presence, being physically present, not giving a present. I guess it doesn't make sense if we're just saying that out loud. I don't think you get the humor in it. But your
I get it.
presence is
Right.
better than giving a present. right?
Well, and honesty. I mean, money is tight, but love is loud.
Yeah.
And that is something that I've learned this year. It's just been very prevalent in everything going on in my life with my marriage ending and new relationships starting. The presence of the people
Yeah.
is way more important to my kids than stuff.
I hope everybody out there heard that. Back it up 15 seconds and listen to this again because first off, this is the first time I've heard you say that because in the last couple of months, as talking about holidays, you've been very single mindedly looking directly at what you're going to get your kids. And I could see that in you. And it has just shifted over the last couple of weeks that I've
Mhm.
seen that change in you. And I, I think that connection really is the currency that matters.
It's mostly free. Popcorn still costs $5, but whatever.
$5, more like $25. I
If
don't
you
know.
go to the movie
I
theater,
haven't even been to a movie theater in a while because they're
neither have
so
I.
damn expensive.
Yeah.
But
I think the last time I took Riley to the movies last year, it for the two of us, it cost $56
oh my God,
for entrance and popcorn and drinks.
that's crazy.
And I snuck in
Did
food.
it have the really comfortable seats that lean back?
No, no,
Didn't even have the comfortable seats that recline back?
no.
That's unacceptable. That's
I
unacceptable.
agree.
But it's an example of, of these things that we think are important, right? And, let's talk about emotional inheritance.
Well, that's very real. Emotional inheritance is very real. My mother could stretch a dollar so far it would develop trauma. And now I'm out here washing out Ziploc bags like my grandma used to because they're like heirlooms. They're so
Yeah.
expensive. I'm just keeping them for my grandkids.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think a lot of us grew up hearing arguments about money and they get worse around the holidays. They get worse
Oh,
around the holidays. That's
100%. I
true.
mean,
It can be a
I
complicated time.
very much. I grew up grew up thinking debt was a whisper only word. And now I'm yelling it into a podcast mic.
Well, the holidays trigger those scripts for us, right? I mean, they really do. A lot of people fear changing traditions. It is what it is.
Well, sometimes rewriting the holidays look like I can't do it the old ways anymore. Not this year. And you know what? That's okay. Just like last week's episode, you have permission to change what you're doing.
I'm actively hoping that people who are listening to this podcast are able to take a step back and say, you know what? I don't have to make 52 batches of cookies. Nobody needs the damn cookies. We're all on GLP-1 anyway. Nobody's eating them. Okay? Stop it.
Didn't we just have a conversation about the cookie baking situation? Like,
I can't remember if we did it on camera or off camera, but yes,
yeah,
you and I are in the same boat on this. I mean, it's a great tradition. I love traditions, but I think
right.
the traditions have trapped us. I think the traditions have trapped us, and there's so many, and you have to do them all. And you have to go see the lights, and you have to make the gingerbread house, and you have to put up the tree, and you have to go get the live tree, and you have to go get these. And I don't have it in me anymore. And um, I want to make the holidays more meaningful. I want to slow down. I don't want them to be so chaotic. I want to get some more sleep. I don't, those things are okay to want to do. And I want to spend time with my family. I just want to hang out with
Exactly.
them. I don't want to be holed up in a room by myself and, until midnight the night before wrapping pieces of bubble gum to go in a fucking stocking.
Yeah. You wrap shit that goes in stockings? You
Listen,
are
this is
extra.
let me my it's what I was taught. It's what I was
Really?
taught.
I
And the
just threw shit
stockings
in
became a
stockings.
huge thing, and when I was an only child of a single mom, and when I realized that
Yeah.
my stocking was the only one that got filled up and not my mom's, that's when I started in the middle of the night buying stuff for my mom and wrapping them and putting them in hers. I started doing that when I was like 9, and so it
Mhm.
just took off from there, and to me, you show people you love them by getting them lots of little things and putting them in their stockings and wrapping everything up so that when they open them, and that's exhausting. It's
It is.
exhausting. It means nothing.
It
And last
doesn't.
and a couple of years ago, for the first time, I started putting those things in there and not wrapping them. I was like, Santa's not wrapping this stuff.
Listen, Santa has never wrapped anything in a stocking in my house because by the
Yeah.
time Santa gets to the stockings, Santa is so effing tired that it looks like the trash can blew up in the living room.
Yeah, yeah. Basically, this is exactly what we're talking about. Emotional inheritances aren't something that you receive; it's something you hand down. So
Exactly.
we have the choice, we have the ability to stop this unnecessary cycle. We really do.
Absolutely.
Our
Yes.
kids, you are an affiliate for TikTok. You literally have every toy, marker, cup, everything comes to you so that you can sell it. Honestly, what else do your kids need that you can't provide? You know what they want? They want experiences.
Mhm.
Our children
Mm,
want experiences.
yep.
That is what
And
they
that's,
remember.
yep. That's what we're changing this year. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, we've got plans to take the kids and do stuff. And yeah, I know I'm still going to go overboard because it's me. I'm gonna, but we're going to invest the time in the kids. If your parents made money scary around the holidays, you make it honest,
Yeah.
right? If they used money as a punishment, you use it as a tool. If they avoided hard conversations, you can start them.
Yes, that's a great place to begin. And on all of those things, I don't know about you, but my family didn't have conversations about stuff, right? We just kind of did. And
Yeah.
so I'm learning to start more conversations, even though it's a little more uncomfortable for me. And here I am at
Hmm.
55 years old, excuse me, 54 years old.
I was going to say, you just aged yourself, my
I
friend.
went to a friend's party last night. She turned 55, double nickel, and we were all joking about how she's 6 months older than me. So it was making me think I was on her track, but I'm not there yet. I'm
No,
still
you're not.
54.
You know
Okay.
what? You look hella good for 54
Thank you,
and for
friend.
55.
Well, thank you. Well, here's what we are doing, we are rewriting the legacy, right?
Joy is worth the extra $13 for the season. Plug the lights in.
Plug them in, plug them in. But you don't have to buy your kids $400 worth of crap to put in the stockings and then extra wrapping paper to wrap that stuff up. Oh, and by the way, you can wrap a lot of stuff in tissue paper.
Hmm.
Tissue paper is nice and easy. You can take
Yeah.
brown paper bags and decor them up. But listen, I'm not trying
Brown
to.
paper packages tied up with strings.
Brown paper packages tied up with string.
Oh my God.
And that is from The Non-Singer. If you guys knew that Kristen was an opera singer, you think, yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
I'm
Oh
gonna
yeah.
torture you every once in
One
a while
day
with me.
one day I will grace you with my voice, just not today.
Speaking of the lights, the Christmas lights, I do have to
Mhm.
say that the holidays are beautiful. They
Oh
really
yeah.
are beautiful.
And listen, just so we are aware on all the pages, regifting is not tacky. It's eco-friendly. Al Gore said so, probably.
Well, somebody has said so, at least. I might have said this once before. So if I have, I apologize. But after my daughter passed away and we went through all of her stuff, she passed away in July. And we found Christmas presents from several years before, all the way up to the last year. Um, just presents of stuff that we had given her that she had never opened, she'd never played with, she'd never used, she'd never cared about. And that was a big eye opener for me. Even though I
Mhm.
know all of these things, to
Mhm.
physically see things that I spent a lot of time and money, trying to get the perfect gift for my kids.
Mhm.
Um, and at the end of the day, I look back and of course just wish I'd had more time with her. And I think
Oh,
that's
for sure.
important. And
Right.
and we had a lot of wonderful times. I'm not crying in my coffee over that, but seeing these presents and how they were never used. And I'm sure my son's got lots of them, and my mother's got lots of them, and my husband's got stuff hidden away that he doesn't use either.
Hmm.
We need to think about this, and it
I,
needs to
I'm
be, we need to be smarter.
hand to God. I was cleaning my kid's bedroom, and there was a tote that we had from last Christmas that we had put a
Mhm.
bunch of their stuff in. And I
Mhm.
opened it and went, they've never touched this. Holy shit.
Exactly.
They have never,
Exactly.
an 11-year-old and a 4-year-old have never touched probably a third of their Christmas presents. And my brain
Exactly.
went, click, you don't have to do
Mhm.
this next year. Thank God,
Exactly.
because I'm a broke single-ish mom. But, my ex-husband, he's packing to move out of my house. And there's so much stuff that I'm like, do you even do anything like that? Like,
Yeah.
what are you doing? But I mean, the $250 bottle of cologne that he uses, that's good for him. Cool.
Jeremy is
Hey.
slapping on a little sniffy goo.
Yeah, but hey, good for you, buddy. Good for you.
Hey.
Listen, in our house, the legacy is simple. It's kind of changed over the years, but it's simple. Keep the lights on, keep the love loud, and keep the coffee hot.
Aw, I love that. That's perfect. That's perfect. So, I mean, like, really, what is it that we're trying to say here, right? Number one, you don't have to buy a good Christmas. All right. A meaningful
Right.
holiday is going to be built off of connection, not spending. All right. Pay
Hmm.
attention, everybody. Listen to me. Your kids and your partner, they remember your physical presence being there.
Yep.
Presence, not your present, right? Not the
Yep.
thing that you give them.
Right.
That's how this works. Yeah, holiday
And
magic isn't on Amazon. It's
no,
it's it's in the moments, not the money.
right. The pressure to overspend is rooted in the cultural noise that we have created as a not just poor people, literally
Yeah.
everyone, the consumerism, the capitalism of this country. Because if you go to other countries, it's not like this.
No.
It's
This
not.
No, it's not. It's not.
And none of this is rooted in actual necessity. I do know people that do, you know, one need, one want, one book, one article of clothing or whatever. And
I
that's
love that, by the way. I
fabulous.
I could have never imagined living in that world
Me neither.
until now, but
Yeah,
now I absolutely get it.
right. I won't do it, but I get it.
Yeah. I'm gonna try I'm gonna try to do it more, but I will say that we are, for example, we're taking our my mom and my stepfather, my husband and I and my son and his girlfriend are all going. We're taking a train to Toronto between Christmas and New Year's. We're staying a couple
Hmm.
nights in a hotel in Toronto, Canada, and we're gonna go shopping and eat dinner. And that's what we're gonna have a couple of little gifts under the tree, but there won't be much because
Right,
we all have everything we need. There's
right,
nothing more that any of us need, and what we really want is to spend some time together. And so
right.
that's what I've decided. But my son's older, right? He's in his
Right.
20s. So just
Yeah.
because you've got little kids, I want people to remember that the day doesn't have to be inundated with
Right.
things for them to remember that it was a good day. And for us,
Exactly.
I think we get that desperation feeling where we have to like the more, 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 that
Hmm.
Instagram photo
Hmm.
shoot, that all that stuff. I've fallen into all of that myself. So I
It's
come to this honestly.
it's exhausting. It used to take when we had one, when we had our oldest, it would take 4 hours to open Christmas presents. And by the time she was done, she was like so over it. She didn't want to touch anything.
Yeah.
And last year it was a lot less. And it was over in like an hour. And the kids were thrilled and they played and everything. And this year, my partner and I have talked about how he's like, I don't know what to get you for Christmas. And I'm like, I don't need anything. I don't want
Yeah.
anything. I just want to
Yeah.
spend time with you and the
Yeah.
kids and just enjoy everything.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're going to do, but just that's all I want is time because you never know.
Yeah. Well, your family's financial patterns are inherited, but they're not
Right.
permanent. So this,
Exactly.
we got to move away from the scarcity mindset. All right? We do
Hmm.
not have scarcity of stuff in America, okay?
Right.
Not even toilet paper, people, not even toilet
Right.
paper. But
Thank
we need
God.
to, the scarcity mindset, the shame about debt, secrecy, guilt about spending, holiday anxiety. None of these are personal failings. They're emotional inheritances from the home that we grew up in. And
Right.
we can disrupt these harmful patterns of passing them down. And we need to disrupt these patterns. We need
Hmm.
to shift this into something that's less commercial and more family oriented. That's what the whole purpose is, no matter what holiday you celebrate.
Right.
I mean,
Hmm.
that's really the important thing here. People used to get all upset about Thanksgiving. Oh, after Halloween, it's Thanksgiving, not Christmas. Why do people put Christmas music on? Why do people do this? And for me personally, I see Thanksgiving as that ramp into
Hmm.
family time. It's the beginning of family time. And
Yep.
so it's all very similar to me. That's how my family approaches it and celebrates it. Whatever your faith is, you do your own thing. But for
Yep.
me, this whole time is a time to be appreciative, to be thankful, to think about the mistakes that you've made, the things you want to do, the family that you want to, get back to, reorient yourself back to committing to your family and your life and doing good
Hmm.
things. That's how I see the holidays now. If you see this as a reset opportunity and a time to be, we get to work a little bit less, we got more time off around the holidays, use that time to spend with your family. Use that time to
Right.
go driving around and look at Christmas lights. You don't have to put them all up on your house. You
Nope.
don't have to
Nope.
spend 5 days doing something you don't like. You can go look at somebody else's. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's
It's
okay,
totally okay.
people.
And
You don't
if
have to be
you,
Clark Griswold. Clark Griswold was exhausted. That was the whole point of that movie. The
hmm
entire family was exhausted going through the motions, right?
hmm yep,
Yeah.
if you didn't get a healthy financial legacy, you can create one.
Yes. Yes, you can. Well, you're not feeling if your holidays look different this year. Changes in family structure, like, loss, divorce, estrangement, adoption of new traditions. You and I are going through all of these things.
Yep.
These mean that our holidays are going to change. But it doesn't mean we're doing it wrong, and it means we're evolving and making space for a new chapter. Zoe's our experience with our daughter has really, it has truly helped me to put the holidays into perspective. I'm not
hmm
spending money I don't need to spend anymore.
Right. Right.
I'm just
No,
not. I'm
right.
not.
Well, here's the thing. Guilt is a terrible, terrible financial advisor. So many people overspend because they feel obligated or ashamed or afraid of the judgment. And guilt driven spending creates these cycles of regret because you've spent $5,000 on Christmas this year and all you have is a credit card bill or the inability to pay your mortgage to keep your house. And then you're like, oh shit, now I have to file bankruptcy to do anything for the rest of the year. You're allowed to say, not this year.
Yeah. You're not responsible for managing other people's holiday expectations. And
Yep.
you're going to change what your expectations are, and everyone else is going to level up around you. Gifts and love are not the same thing.
Yep.
Let's say it
They're,
again. I want everybody out there who is listening right now. Money, gifts, right? Money gifts and love are not the same thing. Gifts are not proof of devotion. They're not proof of loyalty. You don't have to earn belonging through spending. And emotional generosity matters. It will always matter in a way that financial generosity will not.
yep.
And
And
I mean, yeah,
you can love people fully without going broke.
and you should.
Mhm.
And you
Yeah.
should.
Uh, this is very near and dear to me at this moment. Your kids would rather have calm parents than expensive presents. And I say this again, we're just going to keep repeating what we're saying. Your kids want calm parents, not gigantic, expensive presents. As a kid, where holiday stress was so, we felt it as kids, and I know my kids feel it. They remember the tone of the household more than what was under the tree. I can remember specific holidays when it felt like everything was happy, and I remember the bad ones. And I know my
Yeah.
kids remember these things. So
Yeah.
your peace is the greatest gift you can give your family. Not money, not financial, whatever. Your peace will create lasting memories.
This is an important time to say too that domestic violence increases around the holidays because of the pressures
Mhm.
on the holidays. And when you were talking about this, I couldn't help but to think about that. And lowering the temperature for everybody is helpful for everybody. But this is not meant to, I want to urge people, to be vigilant and be aware and be careful, because I do think that taking down the rhetoric and, lowering the expectations can help overall. But I also want to remind people that this is a more dangerous time for people. And
Yep.
so one of the problems is that women also oftentimes feel very anxious about making the holidays great for their children. And if they're in relationships that are, not necessarily safe, that anxiety works on everybody. I
Yep.
want to, yeah, I just felt like we needed to take a moment here because
Oh, absolutely.
one of the things I will say is that when I married my husband, one of the problems I've always had is my husband doesn't like Christmas at all. And I loved it. And so I felt like I was personally responsible for like making this amazing holiday for my kids. But my husband never liked the holidays because he was from an abusive family. And
Hmm.
his memories, just like you were saying, some of his core memories are not good at all
Yep.
of the
Hmm.
holidays.
Yep.
And over the years, I've always known that there's been strife between my husband and I because I want to do more for the holidays, and he holds back, and ugh. And I think I owe him an apology. I understand better, and I see now too that he was always trying to take it down some to keep, to have more peace, and that if I had not been so frenetic about the holidays, he would have learned to enjoy them a lot sooner, right?
Yeah.
Than he did. And so I'm more committed to getting back to making the holidays what they're supposed to be.
Right.
And I definitely drifted away from that for a while in my life because I was definitely trying to, show my children I loved them by putting lots of stuff under the tree. And that's not
Yep.
that's not what it works. You're allowed to opt out of tradition, but you got to do it lovingly. You can choose simpler meals, smaller gatherings, fewer gifts, new rituals. You can do a completely different holiday. We haven't
Yep.
put a tree up yet, and I'm not sure if we ever will,
Hmm.
but we've given ourselves permission to not do that. And that
Right.
was big, and it
Yeah.
feels good. You'd be
Right.
surprised at how safe and healthy it feels to know that I could put it up if I want to, but I don't have to.
Right.
And
And
that's just
and
something I've told myself, and many people out there are saying, "I could never go without putting a Christmas tree up."
right.
But you don't need to have tragedy, right? That's what I'm trying to
Right.
say. You are allowed to stop and say, we don't need to do all of these. We can
Right.
narrow this lane down and spend more
Hmm.
time with each other. And that's what I would
And
encourage.
you're, like you said, you're allowed to change the traditions. My ex-husband, he hated it if I put anything out for Christmas before Thanksgiving. And
Yeah.
I always loved it because it helps it last longer for me. I know that
Yeah.
sounds dumb,
No,
but
I agree. Totally
when
agree.
right. So this year, a few weeks ago, I put up a tree, and then I found another one and we put up another tree, and my kids freaking love it. They're like,
Yeah.
we just have trees everywhere. My kids want trees in every room. And you know what? I may do it. I don't know, but it's nothing crazy. It's nothing expensive. It's just something to put that little bit of magic that I really don't have to put that much energy into. And it's different and it's ours. You
Buy
know,
them a
it's
cheap
something different.
tabletop, buy them a
Oh, yeah.
cheap small tree, and they get to enjoy this experience for 2 months and not just 1 day, and then cram
Right.
everything into a tote and never even look at it, right?
Well, so my partner's nephew, his wife, they have a daughter who's a year older than my oldest, and she had posted a picture on Facebook of their daughter's tree. And every time they go somewhere, an experience or whatever, she gets a Christmas ornament for that tree. And she keeps it up year round. And every time they do something, she gets a new Christmas ornament. And I thought, what a really fun thing to do. Each of the girls could have their own little tree. They could have their own little ornaments so that when they grow up, they can have their own. But also, it's a way for them to remember the experiences we've had together
Yeah,
throughout the year or even just through the season. Like, that's such a great idea.
yeah.
And so I'm definitely doing that with the girls because I think they would love it.
You should get, 2
Yeah.
of everyone that the girls so that they have 1 and 1 is on the home tree. So when they go
Oh,
to
that's
their
a good
own
idea.
place, right?
Yeah.
So then when they go to their own home, they have 1 on their tree, but they also have 1 on their home tree. And so when,
That means
so
I
you
have
have
to have
some
3
connection.
ornaments. That means I have
No,
to have
no, no,
3
no. They
ornaments.
don't all have to have the same thing. You can get different ones, but
No, I
no,
know.
I always thought
Yeah,
that
no.
idea was cool.
I love that idea. It's gonna be an interesting change, but it's okay. We're allowed to do that. And generational wealth starts with emotional safety. Financial literacy matters, financial honesty matters, but emotional stability around money is the foundation. And if you start now, even if your kids are adults or when your kids are little, and lower the expectation on the financial strain going into the holidays, you're going to end up with such better memories and just a better situation in the
Yeah.
long run,
Yeah.
you know?
I absolutely agree. And just remember, people are going to come out of the holidays with some debt, and debt is not a moral failure. It's an
Right.
opportunity for reset. Holiday seasons oftentimes reveal financial cracks that people are ignoring the rest of the year. And so it's a really, complicated time. A reset isn't shameful, it's responsible and courageous. Let's just try and get you through this holiday season without making your situation worse or digging your hole any deeper, and understand that there are going to be options out there. The
Right.
holiday legacy you create is really more important than the one you inherited. And it sounds like you're starting to create a new one. And
Hmm.
as we're wrapping up the holiday talk, Kristen, I can't really help but to point out to our followers that the timeline of your marriage slash divorce slash new partner has been trucking along. And I think people are a little surprised to hear you mentioning a partner. I think our followers need to know what's going on in your life.
Okay. So I've got to be gentle with this for myself.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
I have a partner that we've known each other for a very long time. And
Okay.
I may have already mentioned, yes, it is my ex husband's uncle. We can
Oof.
table that for a day. Listen, the reality show queen right here is having a freaking internal, external meltdown. She knows.
I have been begging to put cameras in and around the house and all of the local hangouts and all of the places, because I feel like I'm a Bravo production company right now, and I would put So your ex-husband is still kind of living there for like another week?
For another week. Thank God
Okay.
he was approved for he found a really nice place not far from us, not far from the kids, so that's going to be
Nice.
beneficial in our lives. He's not moving far away or with any exes or anything like that. Thank freaking
Good.
Jesus. So he is moving out at the end of the week and my partner is living with me now. To,
Wait a second.
and again,
I want
wait,
I want to make sure. I want to make sure. If I mean you're the one that opened the door here. I want to make sure everybody. I want to get this straight.
listen, first of all, my oldest is in therapy and she's okay. We're
Yeah.
navigating this. Everything's fine. Everybody's good. Yes, Adrienne, continue.
Your new boyfriend is living in your house with you,
Hmm.
and your soon to be ex-husband has not quite moved out. Is that where
Hmm.
we're at right now? I
Hmm. Hmm.
love this show. I love this show. This is the greatest reality show going right now. I
Maybe I
don't know
should
why
have kept the door
Bravo
shut.
is I don't know why Bravo is not camped out on your front porch. No, I'm just teasing you.
Listen, I,
Here's
I,
what I've learned.
I,
I learned that life is complicated, and when relationships are ending, and there when there's not a lot of resources, you have to start to figure out what's going on quickly. And I
well,
know I know this person
before,
in your life is somebody that you've known and been friends with for a while, and I know that there was, I understand that, and I think that that makes a big difference. And
well,
I also know
before,
you both well enough to know that your marriage was ending for a while.
well,
It
yeah,
was a slow train crash.
well, yeah. No, here's the thing. First of all, uh, you know, I didn't move my partner in here because of for anything but other than we just wanted to be together.
Yeah,
And yes, I've known him for a very long time. And I will make this perfectly clear. My marriage ended a long time ago. We were,
yeah,
and he will admit it, I will admit it. We were playing house for the last 5, 6 years. I mean,
yeah.
realistically, this is why I say people, I know people will freak out when they hear how fast things have moved, how this, how that. Honestly, I don't care. It's my life. My kids are happy. My kids are safe. We are happy. Each of us is moving towards, what we want in the future or whatever. I know, I know who I'm supposed to be with. And I know even you were like, what the hell are you doing, woman? But I know without a shadow of the doubt that this man is who I'm supposed to be with. And I tell you, what did I tell you this morning? I'm so happy it's fucking scary. I've
And
never been this happy before.
I'm happy for you. I really honestly am. And I have to say, I believe this. I've been friends with you and Jeremy for, a year and a half, 2 years now, and it
You
was
haven't
very
been friends with
clear.
Jeremy.
Well, I mean, I've known Jeremy. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
friendly
I'm
with
giving you
Jeremy.
shit. I know.
I'm friendly with Jeremy, even though I tease him a lot.
Yeah.
But
Anyway.
it was very clear, and I think a lot of people understand the concept that your marriage really did look and feel like it was over to people on the outside for a while. And I
Oh
would
yeah.
never have said that if you hadn't moved forward with a divorce, because
Right.
obviously. And so I think that does matter. And I've seen the way that you've been very mature about all of this. And honestly, I've seen moments, I've seen Jeremy be very mature about it too. And at times, obviously both of you guys get on each other's nerves, and you irritate each
Mhm.
other, and you know how to say things that will hurt each other, because that's what a
Mhm.
marriage is. But at the
Mhm.
same time, it's been very, very I've had a front row seat to your marriage ending, and both
Mhm.
you and Jeremy kind of moving off in different directions fairly
Mhm.
quickly. And
Mhm.
you all seem happier than you were 6 months ago. So
Oh yeah.
I
Well,
ain't
again,
gonna knock it. I'm all
here's
for
the
you.
thing.
I'm all
I,
for everybody being happy.
again, you say I know how quickly it looks, how fast it looks, but we've both been checked out for a long time.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's it, and that's why I've
I
said
think that's very
probably ten
honest.
times. It is. I think I've said almost every time we've done a check in. Everybody's marriage ending looks different. Sometimes it's sudden, sometimes it's long and drawn out, sometimes it's we've known
Yeah.
it's over for a really long time and we just kept playing house out of fear, out of financial issues, out of whatever. And you come to a point where we were like, we're never fixing this. We're never going to fix this. And we're very lucky that we're amicable and able. I can talk to him about dating advice. He can live in the house
Yeah.
temporarily while, my new partner is here with me. This is your update. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's
Yeah.
chaotic. Adrienne thinks Bravo should come along. But as I said, the last time we talked about Bravo, I really would have to look at all of the skeletons in my closet to see what could put me in prison before I did anything.
That's
So
fair. That's
Bravo,
fair.
hold the contract.
Yeah.
I'm
We
not
need to
sure
make
I'm
sure we
ready
haven't
for you.
engaged. Have to make sure we haven't engaged in any cross state
Nefarious. Yeah.
illegal, you know, activities
Yeah.
that would bring the FBI to our Sprinter van.
Right. I mean, I'll just shut my mouth because I just almost opened my mouth a
I
little
know.
bit too much.
Believe me, believe me. I know. I saw it. I saw it. Well, I know that our followers are absolutely thrilled that I am getting an update from you. And aren't you guys glad now? Now that you know how quickly things are moving and the direction that it's going, aren't you curious? I'm so curious. I'm as somebody who's been married, boringly married for forever, it seems like I'm hanging on her every single word every time we talk. I'm like, what's going on? What's happening? What's going on? And I am impressed. Sometimes I'm shocked, but I am
Hmm.
also very impressed by all of the parties. I don't know all of the parties, but I'm impressed by all of the parties because everybody seems to be doing the best that they can with what they've got. So I
Well,
applaud you, my
nobody's ended
friend.
up in prison yet. Nobody's ended up
Not
in
yet.
prison. Nobody's got a
Not
warrant.
yet.
Nobody's got,
Not yet.
not yet.
You guys, everybody knows. Everybody knows who to dial. Dial me up, and I will make sure we get the best lawyer to you. That's how it
Oh
works.
yeah. Oh yeah. That's my my Hail Mary there. Anyway, so there's your
Well,
update for now.
I appreciate that. And in winding up our episode, the holiday legacy you create is more important than the one you inherited. And every December, every holiday season, you have a chance to rewrite the tone, the traditions, the spending, the emotional culture. Your family's story doesn't end with you, but it will change with you. And that's what people need to take
Absolutely.
away from this. Yeah.
Absolutely. And, if this episode hit you right in the emotional fruitcake, share it with someone who's trying to buy their way into belonging.
I love it. I love it. Next time,
Next time, we'll
we'll
see
see
what
you next
else
week.
happens. All right. See you
All
next week.
right. Can't wait for next week's update.
Oh, God.
Thanks for hanging out with us today on High Heels and Hay Bales. If you laughed, learned something, or just had a good time, hit that follow button wherever you listen.
Want more? Head over to highheelsandhaybales.com to catch past episodes, send us a message, or drop your topic ideas.
And of course, we're on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Come say hi, share your stories, and join the conversation.
Until next time, stay grounded, stay laughing, and stay out of trouble. Well, mostly.
See you next week.